Hey you guys, what's up? This is the Anime Blaze coming to you with another video. And this particular video, yeah, I'm going to be discussing the awesomeness that is Inuyasha. This is an anime discussion, not a review. Just for me to go. This is pretty much me going to be discussing different parts of Inuyasha. Some of the parts, basically the plot, some of the characters, stuff behind the show. Um, my likes and dislikes about the series, that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's get started on that. So we all know, hopefully know that Inuyasha is one of those classic anime shows. The plot follows a girl from modern day Japan named Kagome who has ties and links to the past, mostly from this well that she has on her family's property, pretty much. And she pretty much, I guess, falls inside of the well, and well, from there, she goes back in time, and then she meets up with Inuyasha and all this stuff. She finds out she has the jewel, the Shikon jewel, then accidentally gets shattered, sent everywhere. It stores demonic power, yada yada. Uh, any human or demon who gets their hands on the jewel shards can pretty much, like, just even a small shard of it gives them like a lot of power and all this stuff. And throughout the 7 seasons that are in the whole thing, they meet a lot of demons, a lot of allies, enemies, um, main enemy Naraku, uh, villain, number one hated character throughout the show. Everyone has some kind of reason to hate him. So there's that, and pretty much that's how the plot goes. One thing I will say though is that I got on one of my previous videos. I got a question from one of my subscribers, and I got a comment that they had asked me like, have I seen all 7 seasons of Inuyasha like completely? Well, unfortunately, Inuyasha, like Full Metal Alchemist, is one of those shows that I started watching when I was younger and never actually got to watch fully all the way through to the end. So I kind of watched it up to a certain point, and at the age that I was at then, I was kind of like on a time span, like attention span. I didn't have much of attention span, so I wasn't gonna sit there and watch whatever episodes I could find. So I kind of just like skipped around from episode to episode, season to season, like spoiling everything. But I figured, hey, what's the point of and not skipping around if I'm not going to watch the series for a long time anyway? So who cares, that sort of thing. Uh, but I don't necessarily think that kind of spoiled it for me or anything. Uh, yeah, Inuyasha the Final Act pretty much follows the whole thing again, but it actually has an ending to the whole storyline. As far as that, I'm glad that they're finally bringing the final act to the U.S. Blu-ray and DVD. I think that's pretty cool how they're like Viz is finally getting in on the whole Blu-ray thing. Uh, not normally do you actually see Viz releasing Blu-rays of anything, but let's put that aside. Getting back on topic here, um, a lot of the things that Inuyasha covered was, it had its own storyline and stuff, and in a way, Inuyasha was sort of a historical fiction kind of thing, sort of by the fact that it took place in the feudal era of Japan, which, on season 6, it pretty much tells you a lot of the stuff behind it, um, like the legends, myths, legends, and whole plot of where it takes place. There was political strife, uh, poverty, all this kind of stuff happening, and a lot of people kind of had troubles back then. And that's already a really good basis for a storyline. Pick something that people are sort of familiar with. I mean, me, I'm probably not too familiar with it since I don't know too much of Japanese history, but I'm still thinking that's a pretty good basis for them to for Rumiko Takahashi to pick for the basis of a storyline. Um, and on top of that, back then a lot of people were knew about the stuff with like myths and legends and all this stuff, like demons and legends and all that stuff. So to add on top of that, it really did add sort of the whole fairy tale kind of effect. Not the anime show fairy tale, but like feudal fairy tale, because it has that whole setting of where it takes place. And then you add on something that like urban legends and myths and all that stuff onto it, adds onto that effect of what's the word I'm looking for? Um, it adds onto that kind of mystical and like fantasy kind of feel that really catches the whole thing that like a fairy tale, an old book, like for old fairy tales and stuff like that, that you would kind of get that feeling from, and that's what I really appreciate about that. You know, I really appreciate that. Next, we got characters. Again, a lot of this stuff is based off of Japanese legends, folklore, and all that stuff. So, a lot. They never actually clearly stated what the name of the demon that Inuyasha was a part of. His father was. They just said he was a dog demon, and in a sense, he was a dog demon. But the proper name was, I think it was Inugami, which is dog demon. Then there was Neko Mata and a few other stuff, um, fox demons, raccoon dogs, and raccoon dogs are actually real animals. In case you guys didn't know, they are actually real animals. But they had legends surrounding them and stuff like that that a lot of people back then um, believed in everything. So I really think that's pretty cool. They have the whole things of Japanese religion like Shinto and Buddhism, that sort of thing. They add those effects into the anime show as well, as demonstrated through through excuse me through Moroku and Kikyo, two different types of religions, but both serving almost the same kind of purpose in the series anyway. As far as real life, I believe they're kind of different, but yeah, they both have their roots in this anime show as well. So in this anime show, it really does catch that kind of feeling of like uh, you actually do feel like you're getting a taste of like Japan in a way of like what it was like back then, but with a new kind of like a different twist on it and stuff. So I really think that was pretty cool how Rumiko Takahashi did that. Um, a lot of people don't understand that really a lot, but whatever. There is a lot of history in the show as well. Bandits ravaging villages and all this stuff. Because um, I believe I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not, but I'm pretty sure that raging military uh, between politicians, governments, and all stuff argued and got into heated battles and stuff like in actual battlegrounds and physical contact kind of battles, that sort of thing. So I believe that was pretty cool how they added that historical effect up in Inuyasha. Um, Another thing I really wanted to add was I don't know if I already said this, but the fact that they added something that we already know, well, supposedly know about, and added that demon kind of effect to it. Because it's like back then the people already had a hard time. So when you add on something such as myths and legends, demons and all this stuff, um, like and actually make it seem like it's like actually real and all this stuff. Add that on top of that, the legend stuff to make it seem like they're actually real. It adds on to the fact of like, man, their lives are like even harder, that sort of thing, because they have demons and stuff ravaging the land and everything like that too, possessing people, uh, possessing places, all that kinds of stuff. And it really is a really good show. Fairy tales, really, really good. Um, the only like a lot of things that I guess you could say that are some downsides, and good sides. Some people say that Inuyasha is a romance anime. Now, to answer that on my personal level, I would say that Inuyasha is not a romance anime. While romance was a slight factor uh, in the anime show, um, it's like just a small portion of it. The whole anime show was not romance driven, as I believe that they stated. I mean, I don't think they stated it, but if you watch the show, you can clearly see that the whole thing is not romance based. It is mostly shonen. Has intense action sequences. Blood, gore. I don't think too many, like, even if it was like a romance anime show, I don't believe too many romance animes would have like a demon kid, like a demon boy, like slaughtering everybody. I mean, this thing's like freaking. Now I can't even compare because people are gonna try to get on my level, but yeah. Um, some of the I just definitely say that it is not a romance anime. And leave it at that. Um, though my complaints personally are were that there was a lot of filler. There's like a lot of freaking filler episodes in Inuyasha. I mean, it was not even funny. Like the first episode in season 6, I believe, was a filler episode to get back into the series. I mean, but that's another note. While Inuyasha did have like a whole crap load of filler episodes, they weren't exactly like boring episodes. Like for me, like take for example Naruto when it was sort of on Toonami. After the whole thing with Naruto versus Sasuke at that waterfall. Um, this whole series just kind of went into a whole filler thing after that, if I'm not mistaken. This is from what I remember anyway, and that's why I sort of stopped watching it a little bit. But the episodes were like just straight filler. Like it wasn't fun at all. It was like filler after filler episode. I just like you want to get straight back to the storyline, but you can't. But the thing that Inuyasha accomplished with filler episodes is that the filler episodes were actually fun, and it wasn't just like a bunch of like useless stuff. It was like one filler episode, maybe, and that was it. But the filler episodes were actually had some stuff going on in it, like action and whatnot. But I'm just gonna say that Inuyasha did filler episodes right. Season 6, first episode filler. That's not the last filler episode in the season, but that was the first filler episode. It only took them one filler episode to freaking get back onto the main storyline. That's amazing. You don't really see that too many anime shows nowadays. Like a lot of mainstream kind of stuff, some anime stuff, some anime shows really do go berserk on the whole filler kind of thing. So yeah, um, that was pretty much my discussion on Inuyasha. How I think it is really a really good anime show, deserves to be picked up. A really good anime classic. Like even like if you're trying to get somebody into anime, this is the show you want to get them to watch too, along with a few other shows. Has the right amount of romance, action, comedy, all this other stuff to keep the show going. Definitely worth checking out. And I still have to freaking finish the whole series. It is one of those shows that I never completely watched throughout to the end. So, anyways, with that being said, this is the Anime Blaze, ending this anime discussion over Inuyasha and Inuyasha the Final Act. I feel that Inuyasha the Final Act is going to be like awesome, freaking awesome. Blu-ray, definitely got to check that out. Anyways, this is the Anime Blaze signing out. I'll see you guys later.